Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Phillips. I'm the Arkansas State Surveyor, and today I'm going to talk about uh, when it's wise to use parcel information and when you need to take caution when using that information. So let's get into it. Parcel data usage. So common uses of this information is primarily by county assessors to track taxable land. But it's also used by surveyors, realtors, landowners, and many others use this to find out ownership of property. I use it all the time. So, what is the involvement of the Arkansas GIS office and uh, uh, parcels? So, there's a lot of statewide coordination. This office receives periodic updates from 74 of 75 counties. And we're hoping that will be 75 of 75 real soon. So staff here merges all that data into one statewide GIS file. It takes a lot of work. It comes in all different formats, so that takes a lot of work to get everything in the same format. The statewide data is made available through uh, our website, gis.arkansas.gov. So, kind of what I want to focus on is when should you take precautions when using this data? Or when should you not use it at all? So it's not to be used for determining land boundaries such as land ownership, rights of way, or easements. It's actually against the law to use it in these manners, and it's in statute. So it's not a legal boundary. So I want to make that clear with the big bold text there. So here is that statute I was talking about, ACA 1521-504. Digital Cadastre manages and provides access to cadastral information. Digital Cadastre does not represent legal property boundary descriptions, nor is it suitable for boundary determination of the individual parcels included in the digital cadastre. Again, not a legal boundary. So let's just take a look at some here. I've just kind of randomly screenshotted some of our parcel information. This is in the Ouachita Mountains. So this is where I use it a lot. It's really handy. I'm trying to find, what's federal property and what's private property in this scenario. And it's pretty clear. 90% of this frame is National Forest Service, but you can see there is some private ownership around that lake. So in a lot of cases, it's really difficult to map parcels when there's not, good land features to follow. This is an example in southwest Arkansas. You can see there's, the parcels don't quite line up on the western edge, and there's a gap between, towards the middle of the frame, there's a gap between the parcels. If you look down the highway, that eastern boundary, it looks like it doesn't line up with the edge of the right-of-way, but that's just what it looks like from the aerial. Does the right-of-way go that far out, or does it match the aerial land features? I don't know. It's very difficult to make that determination and to map these out. So let's look at a real world example that we've actually went out to and did some work with. So this is an aerial showing there's a kind of a cattle farming area on the left side, and there's timber on the south and to the right side. So let's just take a look. Where do you think that land boundary is? So I started laying in different GIS layers to help me make that determination, or help me make that, you know what to look for before I go out there. So where's the property line? So I looked at the USGS sections. That doesn't line up with what I was expecting it to show. So what is the mapped parcel layer from the county? It doesn't line up with anything either, at least visually on the aerial, and does not line up with the USGS sections. So where is the property line? So I'm looking at it and I say, it's easy. It follows that there's a really sharp defined tree line that goes north and south and one east and west. There's probably a fence there. That's probably the property line. So that is my guess. So we actually went out there and found the property corners because it was part of the county line boundary that we were measuring. So where actually is the uh, property line? It looks about like that. So it doesn't match any existing layers, and it doesn't really match the aerial either. So it's very hard to make boundary guesses, really, even using all kinds of digital information and aerial photography. So here's a picture of that corner. You can see it's offset probably 15 feet from the fence corner. And this is the corner certificate showing a detailed drawing of where that section line slash property line is in relation to that fence. Typically it's going to be at the fence or really near the fence, but in this case it was not. We'll skip that. But I'm not here to, talk bad about parcels. I just want to point out the limitations of that information. It's not intended to show property line boundaries. It's intended to be a tool for assessors for tax collection purposes. But it can be used for other things when used wisely. So I'll show you how to find our parcel layer, something we're really proud of. Almost the entire state is mapped and periodically updated. So go to gis.arkansas.gov and search for parcels or parcel in the search bar. There's a QR code to directly go to that website. So you'll get multiple returns from that search word. You will want to click on this one on the very far right. And also notice that this is not, there's a warning right there on the description, not a legal boundary. So once you have clicked on that, it takes you to that page. Also notice, not a legal boundary. Before we go any further, there is more information at the bottom of the page. Data description. Remember to scroll down. Here is the data description for our statewide parcel layer. Also read the subject we're looking at now. This data set is for real estate ad valorem tax valuation, research and assessment purposes only, and it is not considered a legal boundary. And I'm going to skip all the other unimportant stuff, just kidding, but we'll skip down to users should be aware by Arkansas law 1521-5042B, digital cadastral data does not represent legal property boundary descriptions, nor is it suitable for boundary determination of the individual parcels included in the cadastre. Users requiring a boundary determination should consult an Arkansas registered land surveyor on boundary questions. The digital cadastral data is intended to be a graphical representation of the tax parcel only. We'll just sum that up. That means not a legal boundary. So back to this page, click on REST endpoint. And don't go directly to ArcGIS map viewer. You'll need to click again on Parcel Polygon CAMP. Now you can click on the map viewer. So now you can look at the entire statewide data set. And you can also filter by keywords and filter by fields. I use this one a lot. I'm looking for, in this case, a subdivision named Waterview. You click search, and there's the Waterview subdivision. There's another way to view this data. So you can download it by county or by city. I'll show you how to do that. From this page, go to Add to Cart. Top of the page, you'll see Parcel Polygon County Assessor Mapping Program, not a legal boundary. That's why I highlighted that. I wanted to read it out. You can see how important it is to distinguish this from an actual legal boundary. It's only a graphical representation. Click View Cart. Now go to Proceed to Download. And now you can customize this download. You don't have to download the entire state. You can download by county is what I typically do, or by city. So in this case, county, Lincoln County. I want a shapefile. I want it UTM zone 15, and then email address. So that's a second way you can look at it. Third way, go back to gis.arkansas.gov. Look at it on the map viewer. So the middle tab, Maps, open that and go down to Map Viewer. And it's basically the same viewer as we looked at before, but with other layers that you may need to help you find a certain parcel. So again, this is Waterview subdivision.